And Jamie, I know you've been following the case as well. Do you have any sense at all so far? Now, I want to caution our viewers that it's early in the case, right? So,
Sure.
you know, all these impressions that we have to sort of give that caveat. It is early in the case. But do you have any sense at all of what the prosecution's case is at this point? Because I don't.
Look, you know, I tell you, there certainly isn't a lot of evidence. There certainly is a lot of emotion. Watching the testimony this morning and then this afternoon, she seems to summarize her points of view by drawing on the jury's emotions, whether that is what mom missed with the grandkids and so on and so on. That does seem to be a part of the strategy. I don't think it's a very good one, Michael. I think that the defense attorney, I agree, has done a masterful job. And the only criticism I would have is he's allowing the prosecutor to lead these witnesses. Yeah. And I think in large part, a lot of the speculative evidence is coming in through those leading questions. I think the thing that stands out to me the most is how much these family members are trying to help the prosecutor as opposed to being an objective witness. The testimony recently that stands out was, this testimony that mom loved Christmas and, put all this time into Christmas and it was her biggest holiday. And then when confronted on cross-examination, had not spent a Christmas holiday with this family, I believe, in the previous 5 years to her disappearance. And it, again, just goes to that idea that they're trying too hard to help the case as opposed to presenting honest, objective testimony.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you. And I think that's what Nicole was pointing out, that you're finding that out as he's doing this cross-examination. There's something that Marcia said while she was on the stand that I think, to me, sums up the prosecution's case. She says, you can't hide your own body after you're dead. I mean, that's right. Really, to me, Nicole, what the prosecution is saying here. With all the evidence that I've seen so far, they're saying, well, he's the last person to see her. Who else could have done something with her? And you can't hide your own body after you're dead, so he must be responsible. Because right now, you have a guy who probably is not coming across as the nicest guy, but there's nothing so far that suggests that he would have done this to this woman.
Exactly. I think you're exactly right on that. I mean, there's a lot of talk about that he had been unfaithful in their marriage, that, he maybe wasn't the nicest guy, but just being not so nice or not a good husband certainly doesn't make you a killer. I mean, also, if we're talking about a history of infidelity, why not just get a divorce? Why not continue on with an affair? If that had really been who he was and that he was this terrible man, why change it? Why did he need to go this far? And the state's not answering any of those questions. And we're also talking about a witness who said she deeply loved this man. Her own father was alive, and he's the one who walked her down the aisle. He's the one she calls dad. So those are really contradictory things that the state really isn't doing much to tie together. This family's angry. They want their mother. They miss her, and they blame him for the loss. So certainly, I think there's a lot for the defense to work with. The jury, I'm sure, is thinking a lot of these questions right now, and the state's really just not doing anything to establish why he would do this, particularly if there was this history. So I think they've got a lot of problems, but we'll really have to see what goes on going forward, because we're still pretty early on.
Yeah, James, I just have one question. I got a little bit of time here. She mentions why he would do this. Now, I want to remind our viewers, prosecution doesn't have to prove motive, but when you don't have a body, I would think motive becomes even more important.
I agree, Michael. And I think when you look at his behavior over the course of the marriage, if we're going to speculate, I think some people could speculate that he was actually a pretty decent husband. I don't have a lot of familiarity with mental health, but it sounds like he had been dealing with a lot. He found her dead twice, or at least the son did. And then on a third occasion, there appeared to be an accidental overdose. If he wanted her dead, if he was having an affair, it's just inconsistent with the behavior that's been testified to by the prosecutor's witnesses, locking up the medications, staying with her in the hospital. I mean, it's just not consistent with somebody who wants their spouse dead, in my opinion.
Yeah, there's no doubt this is a tough case for the prosecution. All right, we're going to take a break. Nicole, I believe I'm letting you go now. Too bad we didn't get more of a chance to talk, but I truly appreciate you sticking around a little overtime to give us an opportunity to chat. So you have a great afternoon. I know, Jamie, you're sticking by with me, so look forward to talking to you. When we come back after this break, I'm going to take everyone back into the courtroom as the next witness is getting ready to take the stand. Stay with us here on Court TV.